Many businesses across the world struggle to up-level and achieve local, regional, and international impact. And they struggle because of the lack of investment capital. Many businesses struggle because of limited visibility. You have an excellent brand, but then enough of the right people do not know that you have such an excellent brand. What we're going to be doing today is looking at a dynamic or a range of issues relating to capital, and we will point you to the solutions. And we also will be looking at a number of critical importance of your brand visibility. And again, we will be pointing you to the direction that you can go to achieve this. And the icing on the cake is that Global Branding and Marketing, Venture Capital Inc., and Mega Money Media, we are going to be investing 500,000 US dollar worth of services in helping businesses to navigate both the financial and the brand visibility to really help to scale their businesses with local, regional, and international relevance. So today's program, we're going to be doing that deep dive into this. And I promise you it's going to be very exciting. All right. So it's going to be half a million USD or 100 million GYD. We're going to be pumping into businesses to really help businesses to get it right, to give them the support, to help them to understand how to navigate the commercial financial sector, investment financial sector, and smart capital market. And it's also to understand, how to up level branding and marketing, how to adopt these systems to their organization that can really allow them to scale their business with local, regional, and international relevance. Now, let me say something very briefly about branding and marketing, to bring some clarity. Branding and marketing is all about your communication systems. And your communication systems must be built to communicate and connect with people, not just any people. You want to communicate with a specific target market. And to best achieve this, it's important to understand everything that you should know about the people that you're communicating and hoping to connect with. Today's program, we're going to dig into some of that. We'll also be talking about the type of businesses and some of the pre-qualifications to have us work with you in the interest of scaling your business, your ideas, your brand with local, regional, and international relevance. Now, do permit me to introduce myself. My name is Gary Thompson. I'm a business development consultant by profession. I'm a humanitarian by nature, and I am the multiple best-selling author for several books, including Manager's Toolkit and Billionaire Quotes. My newest book is going to be out very soon, which we call 10X Branding and Marketing, the Psychology of Branding and Marketing. And in that book, I'm so excited about it. It has so much of information that is going to wow you. And in fact, the content that this 10X brand that we are looking at over the last couple of days, and we're going to be looking at a few weeks down the road, it's all taken from my new book. And it's a powerful, powerful piece of literature that is going to really help you to develop a new way of thinking business, a new way of scaling your business, your brand, your ideas with local, regional, and international relevance. So welcome to today's program. Today we are going to be talking about 10X, how to 10X your business. And I want you to keep at the back of your mind, everything that we're setting out here to do, it is designed to help you to make a larger than life impact on your customers on your business growth, and on your financing. Now, having said all of this, and I would have mentioned this in the introduction, global branding and marketing, Venture Capital Inc., and Mega Money Media, we are going to be investing 500,000 USD or 100 million GYD to help businesses to get it right. All right. And we have seen many business startup. We see across the world over 20% of businesses that get started fail within the first year, and over 50% of those businesses that get started fail within the first 5 years. And we believe that with the right strategic intervention, we can help many of those businesses to have a higher survival rate. So we have done the research, and what we are doing now is we have built the systems, and we are now going to be implementing some of those systems to really connect with businesses and really transform an essential body of knowledge to businesses that can really help them to scale with local, regional, and international relevance. Today, we're going to be looking at two important topics under the heading and 10x your business. We're going to be looking at business startup capital. And of course, this is a crucial part for every business. I've seen that small, medium, and large scale businesses, you need capital. You know, the small business need capital to grow and expand. You know, to start up. You have the bigger businesses, you also need capital to diversify and integrate your business across border. So the need for capital is always necessary. And what we're going to be looking at today under this heading is going to be pretty much interesting. The second thing that we're going to be looking at today's program is business intellectual capital. And it is so important to have the business intellectual capital. It's equally important to understand, you know, financial, you know, intelligence as it is to have business intelligence. So we're going to be doing that deep dive into those programs today. And this is what I want to say. We will be allocating 500,000 USD or 100 million GYD in services to help many businesses to navigate the rough terrains of doing business. So if you think that you're a business that is serious about doing business, you're a business that wants to scale with local, regional, and international relevance, you're a business that wants to do some joint venture partnership, I want to encourage you to call the number that is currently displayed on the screen, and we will be happy to engage with you. We are only engaging with serious business, and those businesses, of course, we want you to be tax compliant. We want you to have your NIS compliance and so forth in place. If you're not there, we'll certainly work with you to help you to navigate this. All right. But let's dive into today's program. In most cases, as an entrepreneur, when you are thinking about raising capital, one of the first things that comes to mind is the commercial banks to help you with your business startup. But to actually get into the commercial bank is not the easiest thing. To get financial support from the commercial bank is not the easiest thing. In previous program, I have talked about the pre-qualification criteria. Now, what Global Branding and Marketing does, Venture Capital Inc., Mega Money Media, we really prep you and prepare you to get to that bank and to get through successfully. And what we do is we search what are the pre-qualification criteria, and I'll talk about some of that just now. And we present it to the businesses that will allow you to be more than ready to access the commercial bank. Because remember again, when you go into the commercial bank with almost zero track record or limited track record, the bank sees a risk. And because the banks are investing, customers' funds or public fund, they see that as a risk, and in many cases, there's not a risk that they're willing to take unless you can truly reach the pre-qualification criteria. We're not going to talk yet about high interest rates and so forth, but what we do, we help you to navigate all of that. But let's talk a little bit about the pre-qualification criteria and when businesses are going to the commercial bank for investment capital. Now, in most cases, the bank will ask you to have to put some equity in the game. And what do I mean by equity? The equity simply means that if you ask in the bank for $10 million, they may ask you for 10% equity or 20% equity. And that simply means that if it is 10% equity they're asking you for, you would have to put $1 million. If it's 20%, they will be asking you to put $2 million as your cash equity into the investment portfolio. Now, depending on the need of that capital, you can either surface cash equity, or we might want to call the asset equity. Now, again, what we have seen from our research is that many business startups don't have this kind of liquid cash to front as equity in the capital that they are seeking to move their business forward. Again, we would normally say if you're starting up, depending on the type of business that you have, and I'm referring here to over 90% of businesses, and you're wholly and solely dependent on the commercial banks, it simply means that you are not ready for business. It means that you're not getting enough skin in the game of doing business. All right. Now we want to help you, and we're going to show you how to get enough skin in the game so you could almost bypass the commercial banks and the red tapes and get your business on the ground, get your business up leveled, and get your business into the heart, minds, and soul of the specific consumers. So the first thing that we are looking at here is what we call the equity in the game. The bank will ask you to get equity. What else the bank is likely to ask you for? The bank is likely to ask you for cash flow. And what cash flow means? Cash flow means that the bank would need to see that you are having daily, weekly, or monthly income cash flow, from which they're going to gauge your potential to honor your monthly obligation of paying interest and principal, paying the interest on the principal balance that you would have borrowed, but you will be paying both the principal and interest. So the bank, from your cash flow, the bank will be able to make that decision. But you have other pre-qualifications, and that is what we call your credit score. Now, very often when I talk with a number of small businesses, they have never heard about credit score. And what this credit score simply means is that we have a credit info unit in Guyana. We have the credit bureau. In the developed world, you have the Equifax and a few others credit bureau. In Guyana, we have one. And what that means is that this one is collecting all the data. And those data are being leveraged or being accessed about your ability to create and manage debt. And when you go to a financial institution or any credit facility to access funding, they will run your credit score, of course, with your permission. That is how it's supposed to be done legally. And if they're to run your credit score and they're to see that you are a bad paymaster, they will be making an informed and educated decision in terms of if they should or should not invest with you. So this is another pre-qualification that you must reach when you're going to the commercial banks to access investment capital. Now, in terms of the credit info and credit bureau, I do believe that much more work should have been done to prepare the local sector for um, to deal with these realities. I do believe this is my personal view as an entrepreneur and listening to the cries of small businesses and businesses. I believe that more work has to be done to clearly establish the difference between a personal credit score and a corporate credit score. Um, I also do believe that we need to have a stronger financial market that is out there that can do several things, that can help people mitigate their debt portfolio and manage their credit score. So far, I'm not aware that we have any. We are now attempting to do these kind of stuff to really help businesses to really understand what these things mean in terms of accessing credit and how to mitigate them. So keeping top of your credit score is absolutely necessary when you're going to access credit. Now, this is not something that is unique only to Guyana, it's all across the world. The beauty about the developed world is that with a good credit score, just leveraging your credit score, no equity, no cash flow, just leveraging your credit score, you're able to access the financial market. And that can give you the fighting chance that you need to up level your business, to you know increase your disposable income and put yourself in that position of strength to live the life of your dreams. In the Guyana and the Caribbean, we don't have credit facilities that simply give you credit based on your credit score. And of course, the developed world is a different cup of tea because there are credit facilities that are set up to literally bypass your standard credit score. And I'll look at all of that later on. That these are all facilities that really are there to help businesses and to scale in a way that developing economies really don't have those systems to help them scale. And one good example that I wanted to talk about here, the world has produced a number of millionaire and billionaire using credit. Robert Kiyosaki is one of those guys who was able to leverage credit and build massive amounts of uh, asset and performing asset that takes care of him and his family. We need to have in developing economies some of those portfolios. And venture capital in global branded and marketed mega money media, we will continue to talk about these issues and continue to engage the right stakeholders with the hope and trust that they will give us a listening ear and take the right step to ensure that we can really give businesses and small business in particular that fighting chance to grow and to leapfrog and to make even greater significant development to the national forum. All right. So this is a pre-qualification criteria. I had to talk about it because of the fact that it's going to influence the financial institution and how they allocate funds to you. Now, the other thing that is important for you to also recognize here is that along with the equity, along with the cash flow, along with the credit score, these are pre-qualification that you need to meet. Age is also a factor, all right? And what I would normally say, you can best access loan all being equal with a decent life cycle between the age of, let us say, 20 and 45. Now, why that number 45 is so significant, from the time you reach 45, 46, 47, what we are seeing is that the life cycle of the debt is significantly reduced. Now, what does that mean in financial terms? What it means in financial terms is that Once a life cycle is a shorter life cycle, it means that the monthly installment or the monthly payback is going to be higher. And if it is higher based on your income, it can work against you. All right, it can significantly work against you. So these are things that can be navigated. And when you come into our programs, we work with you to help you to understand how to navigate it. But this is also one of the pre-qualification of the bank. Whether it's loud or whether it's silent, it is a pre-qualification criteria. Um, so those are things that you would need to ensure that you fully understand and you are fully prepared to deal with it when you are trying to leverage the commercial bank to raise capital to either start your business or grow your business or expand your business. Um, all right, these are important things for you to consider. Along with this, we always say too much of collateral will never hurt. It's important to have collateral, additional collateral, to further influence the financial institution favorable response towards your proposal. Now, you may not necessarily have the collateral, but the way business is done today, there's a number of things that you can do to leverage collateral. All right, perhaps you can think about a joint venture partnership. Perhaps you can think about, there's a host of different things that you can think about. Bringing in some, partner that has the, fixed assets and convincing them that you have an excellent business idea. And while you're doing this, you need to make sure you have enough skin in the game. Now, when we come into you, we really work with you for you to understand this. We really get you prepared to start accessing capital, because we know access to capital is going to be critical to your business startup. And I will go deeper into, the importance of accessing capital and, how it's going to be used and so forth. But these are things that you need to understand. Now, I want us to look at another financial sector, which we're going to call the investment banks and business startup. Now, traditionally in the Caribbean, you're saddled with the commercial banks. You have some international funding agencies, but all of these agencies has pre-qualification criteria. But what I want to talk about now is what we call the investment banks for business startup. Now, in the developed world, we have many of these institutions. In Guyana, Venture Capital Inc. is now beginning to get its feet wet in this field. We have identified a few small businesses, some of which we have been working with for over 20 years. And we are now preparing to make certain types of investment with them to help them to scale. But along with what we do is not just to make that capital injection. We know that access to funding is not the only where it all to the success of your business. You need to have, the right market intelligence. You need to understand your financial. You need to understand, and the right systems of integrating that business into the market. So when we identify a business, we bring to them a plethora of management skill sets that are all designed to help them to fast track their growth and to leapfrog their business growth. So as a venture capital entity, this is how we operate. And in the days and weeks and months to come, we will be raising visibility in terms of what we're doing. In fact, today's program will offer 500,000 USD or 100 million GYD. It's one of the first brave steps that we are taking in Guyana to help businesses to get off of the ground. Now, businesses that might be seeing us across the region and the world and that need these assistance, we are also here for you. All right. So this is exactly how the investment bank, but let me talk a little bit about the pre-qualification here. It's different from the commercial banks, but they do have pre-qualification. At our end, pre-qualifications that we are looking for. From the get-go, we want you to establish that you have market knowledge, and I'll talk about that some more just now. We are seeing that many young entrepreneur gets into the market, and simply because the perception is that it can cash flow maximize. But then you do not understand your market size. You don't understand your market density. You don't understand your market dispersion. You don't understand your specific target market. But here is where you want capital. And so this is one of the first things that you would need to communicate to us in the clearest of terms that you understand it. Now, what we also do, we provide the technical support because we know that, it's tough for businesses to have all of this, right? Because to do this, to get this kind of intelligence, you have to do the primary market research and you have to understand business. The more you understand about businesses, what's going to increase your chances of being successful. All right. So this is one of the pre-qualification that we look at. Now, very importantly also, another pre-qualification criteria is what we're going to call team dynamics. You have a vision and you want to scale that vision. And it is very clear to us, spending many years in the business, that you need a team. You need a team that can gel, a team that buy into the vision, a team that is committed to move that vision forward, and that are with you, all right? And you have that team dynamics. So in the event that you don't have it, we work with you to help you to get it right. That's obviously more work on our side, but these are things that we help you to get right. You need to have the right team. And when I talk about your team, you need to have a team that can help you. You might be the person innovating a new product or a service, but how viable is that? Perhaps your team member is the person that's going to help you to go to the ground and identify market viability. They're going to understand your market size. They're going to be able to do your finance team member may understand the financial for that product. How much it's getting, the level of demand that you have for the product, and you understand your market size, density, and dispersion. You understand your competition, and from all of this, you can deduct your business financial to make an impression on venture capital fund, whether it's be an angel investor, a growth investor, and an LBO, leverage buyout, or an IPO, initial public offer. These are all important information that you would need to have. So these are just some of the pre-qualifications that a venture capital investor is looking for. You need to convince them that you understand the product that you're offering, and so forth. We're going to talk a whole lot about that as we go into today's program. But this is very, very important information for you to have when you're approaching an investment banker to help you to scale your business, your idea, your brand with local, regional, and international relevance. Again, you need to ask yourself if you only need the capital. Now, if you have the right team dynamics, you might just need the capital because you might have your marketing team, your team that understand branding and marketing, your team that understand international business, your team that understand financial. You have a well-oiled machine. So in some cases, you might just need the capital. Now, there are venture capitalists that when they're coming to you with more than just the capital. And the information that they may be coming to you with, they're coming to you with It will help you to scale your business much faster. All right. So this is something that we are currently on the ground. We are building up all these portfolios to be able to help our clients to fast track their development, to leapfrog their business. So this is also a work in progress here for us. Now, the next thing that I want us to talk about here is what we call 10X and smart capital for a business startup. Everything that I'm saying here today, we're going to be supporting a number of businesses with this. So we have allocated 550,000 US dollars, a $500,000 US dollars, or 100 million GYD to really help businesses get these service areas right. So if you're a business out there and you need these support that I'm talking about, I want you to reach out to us. There are some pre-qualifications for you to get into our program, but we will do our best to accommodate as much people as possible and to really help you to get that fighting chance to grow your business. Now, what I want to talk about here, the difference between the commercial banks and investment banks is almost like night and day. And let me say this. With the commercial banks, you're paying back interest and principal. And this is a monthly obligation that you have. And if you are late, you know, depending on what time you're late by, your late payment accrued additional cost, interest cost. Now, with the investment financial sector, it's different, meaning that you are going to be making annual dividend payout. And in most cases, you're going to be making this annual dividend payout if you make a profit. Now, my encouragement is that, my word to you is that don't just think about this and smile and leverage and say if you make a profit, that's the only way you pay a dividend. If you want to scale and if you want to attract more investors to come on board with you, you need to commit the time to scale your business where you're making a decent amount of profit and to pay out dividends. And when we come in again, we work with you on all this to ensure that you're scaling and you're profitable and you're making the right dividend payout to your investors. Now, the difference between these two sectors, these two financial sectors, is smart capital market. Again, it's like day and night. Why? Because we will introduce you what we call a 10X smart capital for business startup. And what this means is that we will work with you in developing what we call a specific demographic quality contact list. And we will show you how to leverage this specific demographic quality contact list to cash flow. And the cash flow is what will be leveraged back into the business to help you to scale your business, your ideas, your brand with local, regional, and international relevance. The beauty about all of this is that you're not paying principal back, you're not paying interest back, you're not necessarily paying dividends back. You have all of these funds for yourself, and this is why we call it 10X smart capital for business startup. But you have to do a lot of work here, all right? And you work the system right that we're going to give you in the whole exercise that we're going to put you into. You will be able to have a few $1 million in your hands and to do a lot of the works that we're going to be talking about us now, because we're going to be talking here about the finance, but the success of your business will depend on how you use this capital to raise the visibility of your brand, to impact your customers, to convert first-time users into lifetime customers, to build confidence and trust and credibility. You want to be able to make a large part of investment into achieving this. And failing to do this is going to be one of the reasons why you're going to not scale the way you want to scale. All right. So So far, we have looked at in three financial sectors. We have looked at the commercial financial sector, the investment financial sector, and smart capital markets. And you need to understand all of these sectors. And there's so much more that you need to understand here because let me say this quickly. Traditionally in the Caribbean, businesses would say that the cost for capital is very high. That is true. But what I also want to say, there's another truth to this. If you understand debt systems and how to mitigate debt, you can take a capital that come at high interest rates and you can reverse that process. And it's quite legal to do that. And again, what we do at venture capital in global branding and marketing, Mega Money Media, is literally educate the public on these systems that they can use to navigate the financial world. Some of these systems are used internationally, and of course, we have developed our own systems to really help businesses to navigate the financial world. What I want to talk about now, I trust you would have enjoyed the first part of this program that looked at a number of issues of financial intelligence. You need to commit more to learn this. And when you reach out to us and you're part of the portfolios that the companies that we're going to be helping, we're going to be investing up to 100 million GYD in providing these services and skill sets and to help you to better understand, finance and understand branding and marketing. We will pump a lot of efforts into helping you to 10x your business. So if you have a business, you have a brand and idea, you want to know how to 10x your business, reach out to us. We are going to be providing a range of services up to the value of about a $500,000 USD or 100 million GYD to help businesses and to build that 10x brand. The number to call is 650-6231, 592-650-6231. Okay. Now, let me talk a little bit now about market business intelligence capital. Again, here is where many businesses fall short. You get into business and you just get into business because you saw someone else in business and you didn't stop to take stock of the realities of doing business. Now, the first thing that I want to emphasize here that you need to do when you're getting into business is to do what we call your 10x market research. And there's so much of emphasis that must be placed here that in the absence of doing the market research, and we call it the 10x market research because we are going deep into this thing for you, buddy. You really need to understand your market. We're not talking here about surface market research. We are doing speculative analysis and use us using outdated published data. We are talking here about primary data that will really allow you to make informed and educated decisions that will really help you to communicate and connect with your target audience and make a strong business impact. So in our program that we will help you to build, we talk about the 10x marketing research. And the 10x marketing research is where you must get a team of persons to get out there to get primary data. And just let me give you a quick example as to what this entails. Now, in most cases, you find that businesses don't do the market research because it is a capital intense exercise. But failing to do the market research simply means that you don't have the intelligence enough to sustain yourself in business. Now, let me look at the cost here a little bit to really help you to understand it. You're living in a country, let us say you have 1 million and you make a decision that you want to do a quarter sampling of the people in that country. You try to identify your demographic. But to interview and interface with 10,000 persons, you alone can't do it. So you need to put together a team of people. Putting together a team of people means that you would have to pay those persons. Now, let us suppose that for every interview, you're paying your research team 1,000 GYD, or what you might want to call 5 USD. Now, 10,000 multiplied by 1,000 GYD, it's going to add up. It's about $10 million. But in many cases, being a small business, I'm fully aware that you don't have this capital. And this is why venture capital in global branded and marketing mega money media, we're going to make that investment to ensure that you get the information, that you get the research done, that you get your business started the right way. All right, so we're going to pump some your technical support into you at a certain value. We're going to pump support into you to help you to raise additional capital. And we're going to negotiate some win-win, experiences for you. So it's going to cost you about $10 million to do this research, but guess what? Guess what? If you're just able to get 1,000 of this demographic, 1,000, and you're able to upsell about $5,000 in business per month, that is about $5 million that you're going to be generating per month. But if you are to convert 50% of that demographic, it's $25 million a month. And that may not necessarily reflect the full size of the market, because remember, you did what you call a quota sampling. But from this here is where, from the market research is where you're going to get the market intelligence. All right. From the market research is where you're going to get the market intelligence. And from the market intelligence, you develop what you call your demographic database. And this is from this demographic database, you are able to clearly identify the needs, wants, and expectation of the target market, the dreams, hopes, and aspirations of the target market, the lifestyle, culture, and social class of that target market. And you will be able to deduct further size, density, dispersion, and by extension, the financial within this market. Failing to have this information, it means that you're in business and you have a blindfold over your eyes because you don't have this kind of critical market intelligence. You don't have it. So when you come to us as a venture capital fund and you say that you want us to invest with you to help you to scale your business, and you're bluffing us with the kind of information that you're going to come with, because of the fact that we do this all the time, we do this for a living, we can see your bluff from a mile. All right, so these are important information that you have. We know that you don't have the capital to go invest to get this information, but we're saying to you that to do business without this information is hurting yourself. You're going to be a hustler for all of your life, and you don't want to be a hustler in business for too long. There's nothing wrong with a hustle, but you want to scale it up from there. But you need the intelligence to scale it. To get the intelligence, you need the capital, and you don't have the capital in most cases. What we will do, we will fund the capital, we will fund the human resource, we will fund the technical support to ensure that you get this information and you can leverage this information to really scale your business. Now, the last thing that we talked about here in the market research, market intelligence, and demographic database, when we work with you, it's not just the research. There's some company that will do the research and present to you the market intelligence. But how do you database it? And how do you up-level this database in a way that you can easily cash flow it? We work with you in all of these systems, all right? Success in business is, you got to go beyond common sense thinking. Common sense is very rare. In this case, it's going to be very rare. You need to have the critical market intelligence. You need to have the technical know-how to make it happen. And that's what we bring to you at Global Branding and Marketing, Venture Capital Inc., and Mega Money Media. You don't have the money, we're gonna work with you to get past this challenge. But you need, I can't emphasize this enough. You need to have market intelligence. You need to build your customer database. You need to invest in primary market research. You need to 10x this entire process. When you 10x this, believe me, here's where you can do your accurate market forecast. You can do accurate, market financials. You can clearly identify your competition and assess their strengths and weaknesses, look at opportunities and threats, and find new ways in diversifying your operation from the competition so you can easily integrate into that market and and have market relevance. You need to have these kind of support if you want to scale your business, your ideas, your brand with local, regional, and international relevance. And that's why we are here at Global Branding and Marketing, Venture Capital Inc., and Mega Money Media. Call the numbers that are being shown on the screen, and we will be working with you. Remember, I said there are certain pre-qualification criteria. Call us and we'll go through that with you. But we have a few businesses that we have already started to work with to help them to get through this process. And we're going to be helping them to scale with local, regional, and international relevance. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about here is what we're going to call your 10x brand identity value proposition, and BIVT, which we call the brand intention value trait. And just let me talk about this a little bit. We have interfaced with businesses that when you start to zero in into the brand identification, they're not clear on this. And what that means, it means that they have a hustle, and their general belief is that the hustle is for everyone. And I'm here to say to you that your hustle is not for everyone. Your business is not for everyone. Now, what do I mean by this? When it comes to brand identification, you need to ask yourself if you are fronting a premium brand, a supplementary brand, or a complementary brand. You need to know this. And in all of these areas, you need to know how to 10x it. So when we come into you, regardless of your brand, we will work with you to 10x that brand, where you can make stronger impact on your consumers, a stronger impact on your business growth, and a stronger impact on your financial growth. All right, we will work with you in these areas. So your 10x brand identification is key. We also look at the 10x value proposition. You need to know what is have a strong value proposition. All right, you need to have a very strong value proposition. Now, in most cases, the value propositions are promised to you and the public. And I'm going to leave it there, but it needs to be a 10x value proposition. Now, what we have developed at Global Branding and Marketing, Venture Capital Inc. and Mega Money Media is a system that we call BIVT. And that really dig deep into what we call your brand intention value trait. And in this case, what we do, we build out your brand to have internal impact, and we build out your brand to have external impact. So the brand intention value trait must be able to look at all of this. And it is so important for you to get this right, because can you imagine that you have a brand? The brand is beginning to, make some inroads into the market. But because of how you treat the internal workforce, you do not have a brand impact, internal impact systemization systems. Your workforce compromise the entire vision that you have for your operation. So you have to rehire, you have to train, you have to give people time to acclimatize, and then come again at the public, promise. It undermines the value proposition. So in business, you have to be able to master the art of the proactive leader. And in my book, in Billionaire Quotes, I talk a lot about the proactive leader. The proactive leader has three essential characteristics. He thinks ahead, he sees beyond problems, and he takes informed action to achieve desired results. And you want to apply all of these systems to your business. When you work with us, a team of professionals, we help you to get this right. all right? We literally get into that mud with you, and we navigate the rough terrains with you. In fact, we help you to avoid some of those rough terrains, but we want you to learn them. So when we pull out, and if that is necessary, you know how to navigate, or if you go to a new venture, and you know exactly how to, go after that new venture based on the practical experience that you're going to be getting in working with us. All right, so I just want you to think about this. You come to us, we give you this range of services, and this is how that our capital that we're going to be pumping into you is going to be working with you to get all of these systems right for your business. The next thing that I must talk about is your 10x advertising, copywriting, production. Now, here is where we've done the research. We understand your value proposition. We understand your brand identification. We understand your BIVT, your brand intention value trap. Now we are moving to this point where we literally put in our advertising copywriter to produce your ads. And if you follow me, writing an ad, especially the 10x way, is not just about writing the ad. You need to have a well-trained advertising copywriter, and we have been in this business for over 25 years. Over 25 years. So we understand what it takes to do, the 10x advertising copywriting. We understand what it takes. So this expertise of people and talent will be going to work for you in the advertising production process. And this is for mass media, and this is for social media, all right? You just don't want anybody doing your ad. Your ad must be specific to your target audience. Your ad must be able to gain attention. It must be able to pique interest. It must be able to arouse desire. It must be able to get the customer, potential customer, to take action. It must be able to make impact. It must be able to convert first-time users. It must be able to build confidence, trust, and credibility. This requires a special skill set. And because the years that we have spent in this business, the years that we have spent teaching these concepts, the books that we have written on the subject matter, we are now bringing this to you in a tangible way, all right, that can really help in the leapfrogging of your business. Good. So the next thing that we want to talk about here is 10x branding and marketing, production and positioning. Now, this is a key part, and I talk about this in the beginning. Branding and marketing, what exactly is branding and marketing? Branding and marketing is largely based on your communication system. Your system must be built out to communicate and connect with people. To effectively communicate and connect with people, you must understand people's needs, wants, and expectations, dreams, hopes, and aspirations, lifestyle, culture, and social class. So everything that you're going to be doing here in branding and marketing must capture everything that I've just said and communicate the information in such a way that enables the demographic to say, yes, he's speaking to me. Yes, he's speaking my language. Yes, this is aligned to our, belief system, our cultural system, our lifestyle, and, belief. So the branding and marketing specialists, and we have those team of people here with us, they work deep in their field as cultural anthropologists. They are effective communicators. They are great leaders that can do an excellent work in communicating the right information or billing out the right information, integrating the right information into the right and appropriate communication channel to reach your specific target market and to have the strongest impact on the target market. So this is a gamut of things that we looked at, and I talk about this in my book. You might do the research so you know your target market. You might have your advertising, copyright, and cultural anthropologists work together to develop the best, branding and marketing material. But what about your communication channel? If you're not thinking about your communication channel and brand and marketing, you're going to defeat the whole purpose, because if you put the information in the wrong place, you're not going to achieve the objective, and a lot of capital is going to be wasted right there. All right. So these are important things that we work with you to help you to understand how to maximize on the efficiency and spending your money in all of these areas. And we will help you with this. And now let me say this to you. If you're not doing these things for your business, it's another reason why you're going to struggle. We're coming in because we want to help you to 10x your business. To 10x your business, you must be able to do every single thing that we're talking about here. You know, there's no ifs and buts around this. You know, there's no fluffs, around this. You want to be able to get the work done, get the skin in the game here, and ensure that you get the right support systems to move your business forward. Good. The next thing that I want us to talk about is what we call the 10x larger than life impact game plan. Now, I'm going to emphasize this. I talked early on about the BIVT, and what this 10x larger than life impact game plan represents is the BIVT. What is your impact for life strategy on your internal workforce that allows you to reduce absenteeism and allows you to remove absenteeism or remove staff turnover? Do you have a larger than life impact game plan to really connect and build up the healthiest relationship with your workforce? I want to show you in our program we do. We talk about the blanket workplace self-actualization model that really helps every single person in your workforce to feel at home. But you see, when you scale in a business and your vision is to scale with local, regional, and international relevance, you don't want absenteeism to slow you down. You don't want turnover, perhaps of your best workers, to slow down, your operation. Yes, you may want to say that people are replaceable, but the cost to replace and the time to acclimatize and all the other personality issue that you're going to have to deal with when you bring in new people, and to fill those gaps unnecessarily, is going to cost you. Perhaps things right here, your competition might be zooming in to take you over. There's a whole lot can happen here. But what we do is to help you to build those larger than life, 10x larger than life impact game plan to impact both the internal and the external public. We help you build some very strategic system. Now, this is what I want to say. You're not going to get it out there because these are unique research that we would have done. These are unique systems that we would have developed, and we have done this just for you, the clients that we're going to be working with, to help them to leapfrog their business with local, regional, and international relevance. All right, you must think about the 10x business scale up. Everything that we do is about 10x in your business. You might be operating at a 4 or 5x, but you can do better. Our vision is to do everything that we can help you to scale it up. So you're able to add more value and fix more problems and, really build out your brand with greater relevance. We work with you to have that business level up, business scale up game plan. You want to constantly thinking about this. You don't want your operation to be operating one way for 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, 5 years. You want to have that scale up ability. All right, so we work with you on this. Last but not least, you want to have your 10x business sustainability game plan. And I'm just going to give you a hint because a lot of the systems that we're going to be bringing to you, they are new to the Caribbean. And one clear example here is that when you start a business and you're cash flowing a business, in most cases, what happens, you allow the cash flow of that business to become your primary cash flow machine. And while there's nothing wrong with that, what we do is to help you to understand how to build your brand as passive income. So you don't necessarily have to work to earn with your brand to make money. So that's one thing. And the second thing that we work with you on is that we work with you to show you how to up level your your excess liquidity. For instance, you may have your cash sitting, your profit sitting at 1% interest bearing account, and we may be able to point you to a 3% dividend paying account, a 4 or 5% dividend paying account that allows you to cash flow your excess liquidity, allowing you to do more for your business growth and expansion, allowing you to do more to make strong impact on the workforce, allowing you to do more to impact the external public, who are the people that are spending and investing in your vision, and really allowing you to resign, early in life, and with tremendous financial independence. So if you want to 10x your business, I want to encourage you to reach out to us at Global Branding and Marketing, reach out to us at Venture Capital Inc., reach out to us at Mega Money Media. We are here to work with you to ensure that you get the technical support to move your business to another level of development. Remember, we have allocated 500,000 USD or 100 million GYD to really help you in your business. All right, so I trust that you enjoyed today's program. I trust that you find the information useful. Moving forward, we're going to be going deeper into all of this. There may be additional incentives that we're going to be talking about. My name is Gary Thompson. I'm a business development consultant by profession. I'm a humanitarian by nature. I'm the multiple best-selling author for several books, including Manager's Toolkit and Billionaire Code. My new book, which is 10x Branding and Marketing, the psychology of branding and marketing. It's going to be coming out very soon, and I want to encourage you guys to ensure that you reach out to us and you become part of our team. We want to really help you to 10x your business. Now, let me say this. At Global Branding and Marketing, Venture Capital Inc., Mega Money Media, our mission is to position our clients, employees, and strategic partners to understand, create, and leverage passive income cash flow, build multiple streams of income, leverage smart investment strategies in order to build generational wealth. In our program, you will learn about the commercial finance, more about the commercial financial sector. You will learn about financial literacy and the investment financial sector, financial intelligence, and smart capital markets. Last but not least, you will learn about financial intelligence and sustainable livelihood. Most importantly, you will also learn that financial intelligence goes beyond your ability to make money and maximize your disposable income, because it addresses the issue of understanding the global financial system and leveraging this intelligence to create good debt cash flow, minimize existing debt financial portfolio while you maximize financial and equity capital gain. The understanding of the commercial financial sector, the investment financial sector, and smart capital market are an important body of knowledge for you to have in the global landscape of financial intelligence. So be blessed, and we look forward to hearing from you in the very short future. Remember, you can reach out to us right now. You had those numbers that was on the screen, and you can either talk to me, you can talk to any one of our professional consultants who will work with you. Remember, our team, we would have studied at some of the best university. I studied at American University. I studied at Cambridge University. I lectured at the American University of Peace Studies. And I have tremendous years in this field. We have persons who would have studied and graduated from the University of the West Indies. We have a dynamic team of people. We have a team of PFA, professional financial advisors. We have a team of economists, we have a team of accountants, a team of business consultants. Very soon we will be engaged with a team of lawyers to be able to provide businesses with necessary support to grow and leapfrog. And I'm talking here about the legal title for your business. The combined knowledge is going to be over 75 years of experience who are going to be going to work for you. So feel free to reach out to us. We are excited about this, and we certainly want to work with you to take your business, your ideas, your brand to a whole nother level. So we look forward to meeting and greeting you on the other side. Be blessed.